Alrighty. Oh, let me pop over to the chatty. Woo! Hello, hello! I'm back after an absence for a while. Don't mind me jumping around tabs there. Hey, I'm back. I have another child that has entered the fold. So I'm going to be doing a quick little recap of life stuff for me real fast. Hey Tagala, how you doing? Hey, good to see you. I'll do a quick recap, talk about some of the conversion stuff that we've nearly finished up. I would love to have more time that's just like sit down with numbers and figure out numbers, which is fun when I have the time, but it's kid time. So yes, I had another son that was born, a big, giant, healthy baby, and I'm going to be visiting him for the first time today. I only got to see him like that brief moment where they came out like, "This is your son," and took him away. In the middle of the operation, my wife had a C-section. Her anesthetic wore off, so she has been in a lot of pain. So I'm going to be sneaking some donuts over to her today. Not sure if it's sneaking, but I was told to hide them. So, yeah. But for me, I've just been sort of like wanting to get into the play-by-post games, and I think I haven't touched them in. Let me check here real fast. I'm gonna guess like a week, like a solid week of haven't really touched games, and I feel bad. I think the most I did recently was like hop on to hand out Pathfinder Society Chronicles to people, and then like back into putting together cribs and baby proofing the house and cleaning everything and just like relaxing because like I say relaxing like recovering. Despite me not having done anything to actually aid in the birth of a child, I'm tired and I feel really weird about that. And I'm watching my son while my wife is in the hospital, but he's at school today, so that I get to go off to the hospital. All right, all that aside, let's get over to, hey, a treasure table, because today, I'm going to need paper for this. Today is one of the most frustrating parts of converting things from 2nd edition to 1st edition. Obviously, if you're converting one system to another, like treasure is always going to be a little different. I've done a little bit. I've done half of the second adventure, the Bullywug Gambit. I also did a experience for that. So I want to talk about that a little bit. Let's pop over here. So in the adventure, in Bullywug Gambit, I want to make sure I get the name right. The Bullywug Gambit. Woo! Essentially, there's two big parts. There's more, really. There's three, but two big parts. One, the players go to Kraken's Cove. They discover the Savage Tide has been unleashed, which we will not really elaborate on too much right now. And then they return to Sasserine, and they have to rescue Lavinia. Now, this makes it a really good divide, and the divide is there even in our adventure path, the original AP, that players will be level 3 during Kraken's Cove, and then level 4 when they make it back to Sasserine, which doesn't sound like a problem. Technically, there may be something we could change here, but I'm going to put a pin in that for now. If you're doing milestone leveling, no problem. Hey, congratulations, you guys made it through Kraken's Cove. Boom, get yourself level 4. But not everybody plays the same way, and I'm not writing this conversion for my table. Nor am I really writing it for anyone in particular, mostly because I really don't think there's going to be a lot of people that are like, yes, time to adopt this game, which requires all this prior knowledge to run. Like I said, I'm doing this for fun, but if anyone does want to play it, I want to make sure it's going to fit for every table. So I did some totaling of the experience between arriving at Kraken's Cove to leaving Kraken's Cove. We want to get 1,000 experience. Obviously, if you've played, you can just run it later. Yeah, run it later. TM. On my list of running it later, I think is still Dragon's Demand from Pathfinder 1. There's still the Ashardalon mini adventure path from the 3rd edition D&D, not even 3.5. I still have Expedition to Barrier Peaks is like a pin in that from AD&D or OD&D. Anyway, yeah, exactly. The list of stories we want to tell, it's ridiculous. Not to mention all my own homebrew stuff. But yeah, experience in Pathfinder 1st Edition, or in this case, D&D 3.5, was exponential growth. And thankfully, that doesn't really mean a lot here for our conversion. So, good news there. So, numbers would just get higher and bigger, but essentially, if you kind of took off that exponential growth, it would be flat, and we can handle it no problem in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. But what we do have a problem with is sometimes the numbers don't match up too well. So I did some, did some weird napkin math here, and we ended up with 630 experience for all the encounters in the, I'm sorry, not 630, 730 experience for all of the encounters, which left us with 270 experience to make up. So I thought, well, maybe, and I might actually still go back and fix this if I feel like, well, that's a good idea. The Wormfall Festival could cover up a lot of that experience. It might actually put us over, which is what I want, especially in these older adventures. You're not expected to methodically take out every threat in the adventure, which is very different from the more curated experience you might see in even Pathfinder 1st Edition, though I guess less so, because I distinctly remember many, many dungeons where it's like, we're never going to go there. Pathfinder 2nd Edition, I love it. The adventure paths are a bit more, you're going to go in this room, you're going to go in this room, you're going to go in this room, you're eventually going to go back to these rooms. It's a bit, like I said, curated. Not so in 3.5. So there is potentially way more experience to get. So it's okay to go over experience a little. Here we're under. So I was going to say, of this 270 experience deficit, some of that could be here in the Wormfall Festival. Our little bridge between what I'm calling Part 1 and Part 2. Though these have... ignore my pedantic nature. So, we added some experience rewards, which I like as a GM, because if I am running experience, I don't want players to just feel like murdering their way through every problem is the only way to advance. Experience awards are the best way to encourage players to come up with solutions to things. And this is something every GM does. If you talk your way past the guards, instead of murdering them, give them the experience as though they defeated them. That's obvious. Here, though, we're sort of injecting more experience in. Like, for instance, being trapped in cages and severely weakened. Do not award the players any experience for defeating the savage prisoners here. Very much. These are prisoners in cages. However, they do pose a problem of being loud and disrupting them. So if they find a way to silence the howls and screaming, award them 30 experience. I made up, essentially, 5 or 6 mini quests within here. And some are fine. Some I don't feel as good about. For instance, if the players discover the Shadow Pearl Remnant, award them 30 experience. If you've ever played a video game where you turn on the game, and we're in the modern age of you take your first steps, like, boom, achievement, first steps into the world. You didn't feel like you really accomplished anything. And this kind of feels like that, where it's like, ooh, well, guys, check out this cool Shadow Pearl. You get some experience. Oh, interesting. So like I said, I may change this going forward. The other thing is, I also don't know how other GMs run experience. That's something I've been thinking about recently, is that every table runs things at least slightly different, if not wildly so. I run Kingmaker, which is, for me, an experience-driven campaign. So my players will have their encounter, I'll jot down what they fought and everything, and then at the end of the session, I'll just list off how much experience they get. For me, that works. This whole XP award thing maybe wouldn't come up as much. I know there are GMs that like a video game. You have defeated the encounter. Here's your experience now. You've discovered the Shadow Pearl. Get 30 experience. I know GMs that never reveal to their players how much experience they get. They just write down a number and then say to the players when they've leveled up, which kind of feels like milestone leveling, but with more steps. I don't know. I always advocate for milestone level. I shouldn't say that. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I advocate for milestone leveling in general. But I think that a GM should make an informed call about what kind of game they want to run. Like I said, I do Kingmaker, which is very open world. Threats are going to be higher level, but there's so much to explore. It's a very wide game. Let me back up so I can get my hands in. Whatever. You know what I'm going for. It's a wide game. So I want to encourage my players to explore rather than directly dive into the main plot, which it could be accomplished with milestone leveling, but I don't quite see it that way. Anyway. Okay. That's my rant about experience out of the way. I want to talk about treasure. For any GM that's done some homebrewing, writing their own adventures, or just kind of casually looked through, I think this is core rulebook, yeah. You would become familiar with the party treasure by level. And this is what treasure should be given out, or where your character, your group, not your character, your group should just about be by every level. So, for instance, at the end of level 1, your party should have 2 second level permanent items, 2 first level permanent items, and 2 second level consumables, 3 first level consumables, and some currency. These are not, and I want to be very clear, hard and fast rules. These are the ones that you can tweak and play with the most. You should absolutely be keeping your group on track with certain things. This is not 3.5. This is not Pathfinder First Edition, where you can be like, well, my guy isn't going to be in combat too much, so I'm just going to give him like a +2 short sword. Everybody else has +3. I'll be okay with the little hit and accuracy. No, you definitely want to have your players, especially if they're going to be using weapons, even like half of the time, to be getting those like +1 striking, etc. sort of equipment bits. And that goes for, resilient armor and certain other things. That said, it's much different from First Edition, where you were like Christmas trees of twinkling magical items all over you. But I will say, and many people are very upset about this, and I can understand that, there are certain math and mechanical considerations for what your character should have. I believe, I want to make sure I'm thinking here, that +1 striking weapons, you should have them by level 4. Okay, so if your character is level 4 and you don't have a +1 striking weapon, I would say the onus is on you to, as a GM, either supply it, or as a player, go out and purchase it. And I kind of want to talk about this a little bit because it's going to come up today. I don't want to put a pin in it, but I kind of do. Well, real quick, 3.5, we hurled gold at players. It was like, oh, you open up the treasure chest, 55,000 gold pieces. My God. Gold is less emphasized here in 2nd edition. So we're going to see some problems moving forward. For instance, where is Gigante's treasure? We have a treasure chest in here. Here we are. I mean, this is level 3, our players. In the corner of the room, find a total of 120 gold pieces, 448 silver pieces, some copper, garnets, 3 garnets worth 20 gold pieces, an emerald worth 50 gold pieces, and 5 pearls worth 100 gold pieces each. So, quick math here, 550, 610. I mean, we're over 800 gold pieces with this one treasure chest alone. Now, we've changed the currency rate to make it a little bit more manageable in 2nd edition, but we also don't throw gold at players much anymore. I mean, look at this. At level 20, they're assumed to be given 140,000 gold pieces. But at these low levels, we're talking, here we go, we're going to be looking at 200 party currency today. Total value 850. This number is going to come up today. I'll go into that. Now, the thing is, in as many games as I have played of Pathfinder 2nd Edition, I've been playing since the playtest, and I've been running games for Play by Post, I've been running my own games, Pathfinder Society, all of these things, homebrew, non-homebrew, adventure paths, modules, etc. Players are very, very strange when it comes to purchasing items. Or even tracking gold sometimes. I'm running Strength of Thousands right now, and if any of those players are listening, I'm gonna call you out. Many times, I'd say, okay, you have some time, some downtime. You have a month or 2 months before anything's going to happen. What would you like to do? Nah, we're good. Really, you're good. You don't want to buy anything or craft anything? Nah, we're fine. And I understand it a little bit. Most times, your upgrades are given to you freely in the adventure. But not always. And that's going to be kind of big. I know when I played 3.5, I just, would beeline for certain, equipment that I really wanted or needed for a character, and then I just would let the adventure kind of give me the rest. And I think that's sort of a prevailing attitude. So it's something we're going to keep in mind when converting is how to handle that. I say all that to say I'm throwing all of that out the window with this part of the adventure. Okay? I'm going to go through. So what I've done, I can link this later to people that are interested. I still have the Google Drive. It has not changed. That link has not changed. So if you have the link to the Google Drive, it's still good. All of this is still there. All 30 pages of reading goodness. I've put in all of our treasure for level 3. Now we've got to do level 4 treasure. Which, real fast, I'm going to jot this. You know what? It's not fair to you guys if I jot it down on a piece of paper for my ease. So, let's look here. We've got level 4. 5th level items, 4th level. Okay. So, permanent. Whoa, permanent items. Oh my god. I have a child and I can't remember how to do anything. 5th, we have 2 of them. 4th, 2 of them. Consumables. Boy, oh boy, I feel like people get angry about consumables. And another one. I can see why, I can understand, but I don't. And here's our big one, our gold. Where we got it? We got it over here. 200 gold pieces. Now, I am going to say something. I'm going to put in the total here. Now, you typically, if you're writing an adventure or you're converting an adventure, you don't really have to interact with this total party wealth section here. Total value, 850 gold. This is just the estimated value of all of these items that they would get. Toss in the gold and currency on top of that, and that's about how much they would get. It does help you if you want to break it down a little more granularly. You have a fifth player, or you only have 3 players. You can change that up a little bit, but you can stick to just this little section here and be okay. That's fine. But we've got a weird section specifically here. So our next section has us returning to Venderboren Manor, where Lavinia lives with her mercenaries. I guess her mercenaries never really stated outright if they live with her, but I believe that they're there for much of it. So this is not the typical treasure romp or dungeon romp where you go through, murder everybody inside the room, then take all the treasure and go home. You work here. That would be the equivalent of I don't know. I show up at work one day and there's a deranged man on the loose with a weapon. I can't be like, my God, I better go rob the break room. Like, no, that's not okay to do that. No, it's okay. There was a crazy guy with an axe. That's why I emptied out the till and I'm taking it home. You can't do that. It's not okay. So we've got a few sections here. Matter of fact, I have them highlighted in red. If you remember, as I was writing, we did this in red. We're going to get to this. I mentioned before that I wanted to give out treasures for doing little things in the Wormfall Festival, so we'll get there later. All right. Here we are into the Frogs in the House section, part 4. Okay. So first off, third column, first paragraph, treasure to convert in the Falling Chandelier section. Atrium, here we are. Yeah, right here. Where's our... Oh, third, here we are. We've got these right here. Treasure on a marble pedestal near the south wall. It's a gem-studded ceremonial silver dragon engraved with a... This statue is worth 1,100 gold pieces. You should absolutely convert this money over. But your players should not be taking this stuff from Lavinia. And yeah, on another pedestal says half a cow's head with a ruby eye. V2, we're going to convert this. The players should not be taking this. Yeah, look, here we go. Note on treasure. Although many of these rooms list objects as treasure, honorable parties won't loot their employer's home. I've talked about honor among players and how it may not be a thing. So we'll certainly see, especially these old games. I definitely recall my players kind of going through and being like, yeah, I'm pretty sure we can toss this in the bag of holding. Lavinia won't notice. And as a GM, I think there were more betting on it that I would forget. And I was like 16, 18. No, I was in college. I had to be like in my 20s. I did forget. This is fun. Speaking of Barrier Peaks, there's a card of gray material is an unusual key that opens doors in Barrier Peaks. Hey, it's a curio again. We're going to convert over some treasure, but so far the players aren't taking anything from here. Let's see, any more treasure? Let's take a look. Oh dear, I think I have some bad timing that I have to use the bathroom. Looking for red. There's the other thing that I want to talk about. If I do want to give out some permanent items, Huntress Lorb Tub right here is, or these NPCs. I hate to do this. I am going to actually pause the stream for a second. I'll be right back. I do have to use the bathroom. I'm so sorry. I timed this very poorly. Be right back. Alrighty, there we go. Whew. That was, as I was saying, sudden small interruption and directly back into it. If I want to give out treasure, one of our big treasure pinatas, so to speak, are these NPCs that are through here. Huntress Lorb Tub. I've even noted here to giving her 2 +1 striking hatchets, which would fill in. I'm going to actually note this in here. Huntress Lorb Tubs 2 +1 striking hatchets. I'm not 100% sure I'm going to keep that, but it's possible. Yeah, we can also put our treasures on these folks. Again, players may not get to everything. I do believe of all of the NPC boggards that they're going to meet here, or bullywugs, that Huntress Lord Tub is one of the most optional. Let's see. Gaskus Keel, he's here to help us. So, first column, second paragraph, treasure. Let's see here. Let's see where Cascus is. Interest. We do have some more treasure here. No, we don't. That's tactics. I'm sorry. That's embarrassing. Yes. We do have a treasure section here. Look, we've got some consumables. Boots of striding and springing. Ooh. Let's take a look here. I believe worn items. Let me see what level boots would be. Just not boots of striding and springing, just boots. Let's sort by level. Boots of Elvenkind, already level 5, which is what we're looking at. Not a horrible replacement for Boots of Striding and Springing. I mean, Boots of Bounding is what we've got now, I do believe. Boots of Speed, you know. Obviously, we don't want to be handing out level 13 items. That was one of the problems I had in Kraken's Cove, for instance. The dead body of the previous pirate captain there had a Ring of Swimming on, which is a level 10 item in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Not something we can give out, so we just kind of turned it into a non-magical ring for some money. I want to note, I kind of like, I mean, I don't... Here's a personal thought when I do conversion. When I write for myself, I'm going to use anything I find. Any book is okay. Firebrands, yeah, why not? When I'm converting, I don't really like to do that. Mostly because I recognize that people that get this conversion will likely use Archives of Nethys, but I don't know 100% that they will. And kind of requiring people to get every sort of splat book that comes out feels rude. Yeah. Boots of Elvenkind, though. +1 to acrobatics. Gives you that difficult terrain ignorement. It's not Boots of Striding and Springing, but it is not bad. I'm going to just note that down. Let's see. Boots of Elvenkind. And that is in V15. Okay, that's in V15. Now, we've also got something else here. +1 Keen Dagger. I'm actually curious. Hidden Armory. Vandervoorns keep several of their spare weapons. This is an interesting one. As is this something that Lavinia is going to be okay? Like, I can understand her saying, okay, wow, you know, you found that weapon there. Very cool. Thank you. Give it back. I can understand her saying, okay, you needed the healing potion, so yes, I'm going to... Please, that's fine. But then you're, like, walking out with these sweet, magical elven boots. She's like, hold on, I'm sorry. What's happening? Like, no, it's fine. I work for you, so I could take your stuff. That one's a little weirder. That's a weird spot. I'm also going to note we have some consumables in here, too. I should just make a little quick list. Consumables in V15. Potions. Okay. Potions are in a weird spot, and I could talk about them for a while. Potions are good. Asterisk. So, I'm playing in a few games, and I'm doing a playtest game right now. And I kind of... My character's not perfect in a lot of ways in the playtest, and I found myself with a free turn, someone wounded, and me lacking battle medicine. But I did have a healing potion. So I was able to spend an action, draw a healing potion, spend my next action running over to the person, and last action, boom, popping that potion in their mouth and healing them for a grand total of 2 hit points at level 5. I'm not sure mechanically anymore really where healing potions occupy what mechanical space they occupy anymore. I know that my players in Kingmaker use them a lot because Kingmaker hurls healing potions at you, and my group did not really invest heavily into medicine. So yeah, that works great. Combat ends, they just start downing potions and keep going. Most groups have invested in medicine, and 10 minutes is not it typically, 90% of the time, 10 minutes is not a huge investment of time. So 10% of the time it is, and a potion be great in between combat. It's hugely inefficient in combat. So healing potions are tricky. Potions in general, mutagens and elixirs, they're all a bit tricky to use. I'm not saying that they're bad, but as when I'm a spellcaster type or I had a mutagen fighter that I played around with for a bit, I always would have one hand ready with that mutagen or the elixir that I would use, pop that in my mouth, and then go to town. But that's a very specific character. Anyway, okay. Sorry, I went into a weird spot with where do potions occupy mechanical space now. We've got, as you can see here, we've got more treasure. That's going to be we've got lots of this. We've got another one here, another +1 repeating crossbow. This one might have to kind of... So there's a lot of masterwork weapons throughout this adventure. We had this also in Kraken's Cove. Masterwork weapons are really not a thing, obviously, in 2nd edition. And we don't want to toss out just like, they're all +1 weapons. It's okay, they're not striking. The players won't care that much. The +1 is that expensive part. We don't want to just hand out a crap ton of magical runes. So these are likely going to become just regular weapons. And I'm not sure how much I want to hand out +1 repeating crossbow. Maybe. We might. Let's take a look at just very general weapons. That is not what I wanted. Here we go. Weapons. Base magic weapons. So I think this is +2. Yeah, or level 2, yeah. A magic weapon is level 2. Maker of babies, that is me. I didn't really do the hard work. I did the easy job. Oh my gosh, but I'm so tired. I'm actually going to be leaving about an hour and a half to go see my wife and son in the hospital and sneak her a bunch of donuts, and she said potato chips and soda and cake and a bunch of other things. So I will put a pin in the magic weapon thing. If I put a pin in it, I'm going to make a note of it. You know, the placenta is genetically the dad's. Look at that. Here's the thing. I don't know anything about biology. I imagine I took a biology course and then very quickly learned, I'm not a biologist. Something to think about. I don't know crap about that. Why do you know that, Tomb? Why do you know that placenta is genetically... I don't even know what Tomb Raider does for work. I assume that you professionally roll dice. Let's see, V19. My wife knows stuff and see, that's what I have my wife for. My wife is just the smart one, and I'm the charisma who can't speak Japanese, so it's very pointless. Not good symbols. Oh, they're perm items. We're doing right now is the annoying thing of converting treasure from 3.5 to 2nd edition Pathfinder. It's painful. It's very painful too. I want to do, let me say, +1 repeating crossbow in V19? 19. V19. It's a 2nd level item, but I'm not sure if I want to give out... I don't know. I don't necessarily hate that. Rather be giving birth... boy. Boy, oh boy. So, I don't want to go through anything my wife has gone through. I feel terrible for her. Poor thing. Her anesthetic wore off mid C-section, which is scary, obviously. And, yeah. And, both pregnancies, first one and this one, did some irreparable harm to a certain part of her body that I don't think she'd want me to talk about. And that's been that was rough for her the first time, and just as rough the second time. So, if not more so, since we've already had it happen once. I'm taking a look at... Here we go. We've got... Oh, here, look at this. Family... See, this is... The problem we're running into here, Tomb, is that this dungeon that we have is technically your employer's estate. It's not technically. It is your employer's estate. So any treasure you find in there, you should not be taking. It's robbing the person you work for to save their life. So we've got, like, her family shrine, offerings to Farlan, and, like, very useful. Look, a staff of passage. I'm not even sure. It's been so long since I've gotten up to staff level. I believe they're going to be coming online at, like, level 10. No. I was wrong. I feel like a jerk now. Okay, I'm curious. We can toss a staff in here. A staff of passage. We want to have something that fits into Farlan. So Farlan is the god of roads, the neutral god of the most boring motherfucker around. I shouldn't say that, because St. Cuthbert exists. But in Greyhawk, Farlan is essentially the not fun Desna. Staff made from the jawbone of a demon god. I would work on that. I would... I've got to get to the Dark Archive. Oh my god, my computer's running out of juice. That would be very bad for me to just kind of disappear all of a sudden. The Dark Archive game, I was like, everybody, come August, which for me is tomorrow, the games are all starting back up. And now I'm like, I'm so tired. Oh my god. I think I can get the Dark Archive game going again pretty quickly, because the next adventure is a bit more roleplay heavy than it is murder and smash things heavy. I'm wondering, ooh, Staff of Healing, Staff of Earth. I need something that is kind of passing through things, passing along. Boy, oh boy. Staff of Healing, meh. Scatter Screen, Pummeling. See, this doesn't quite fit Farlan. I'm wondering how big can we get our item here? I don't think it's too bad to go above and beyond. That's sort of what I'm thinking. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on now. This is good. What we've got here, Staff of Providence. Survival checks on sense direction, subsist, religion checks to recall knowledge, guidance, light, bless, create water, augury, create food, see invisibility, status. It is level 6, which is tricky, not gonna lie, but I don't hate that, and it is the advanced player's guide, and I feel like that's essentially a core book, so players should have access to that, GMs should have access to that. I don't hate that for representing Farlon, which, by the way, I feel like if I start typing F into my Google search, immediately we're just going to get the worst things, and I'm going to put it on YouTube for posterity, and everyone's going to hate me. I know a cheap way around it. Haha! Let's look up here. Farlon. Da 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 da. Da da da. Of course. Farlon. There we go. So, Farlon, boy, there's nothing exciting about him. I think I made a priest of Farlon once just because I kind of wanted to see. He's just God of the road. I don't know much more about him. Let's see. Elderly man, blah, blah, blah. He can, if he wishes, summon a dust quasi-elemental, earth elemental. He's very, earth-focused. Oh, that's my wife. Showing off pictures of the videos of the baby. Insists that everyone travel to discover and learn new things. Yeah, it's old man Desna. A boring, neutral Desna. I want to say neutral. He should be neutral. They don't say that here. Alignment, here it is. With neutral good tendencies. So, I don't necessarily think that a Staff of Providence is too bad, actually, here. Going back, again, can we give out items to players that we expect them to have when they really shouldn't take them? Like, is that okay? I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna note it down anyway, because I feel weird about that. Staff of Providence. Can I not spell Providence? I don't think I can. Providence. That's embarrassing. Staff of Providence in V18. This is a 6th level item. I don't really hate this. I don't hate that at all, mostly because, one, staves are cool, and people don't use enough staffs. For the love of God, people, use your staffs. If you're a wizard or a spellcaster of any kind, get a staff and use a staff. You don't have to spend your money on +1 striking bullshit. Get a staff, use the staff. It's really good. The rules are complicated for recharging it, but I don't care. Get a staff and use a staff. I think this is very fitting for, yeah, that's right. I want to see, I'm excited for the story of Elias. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing his name right. I've been saying Elias or Eluis. I like Elias. But it's your character. That's one of the weird things with Play by Post is I just have all of these characters and somebody could pronounce their name differently or have a different concept of them. Elias. Is that when you say, is that an E sound? Elias? Ilias. Ilias. Kind of like Iliad. Ilias. There we go. Okay. Now I know. Cool. It also, when I do Play by Post, I have a hard time holding on to who my character's voice is, which leads me to, I have Harloon in Quest for the Frozen Flame, where I'm, so excited about this character, but my concept of who he is has changed by the day. Oh, my wife still messaged. So my wife is excited. I will be visiting soon, so I'm getting lots of messages from her. Okay. Cool. If I give out the Staff of Providence, I feel like we have our items covered. I'm not sure that I need to give her +2 striking. I'll put a pin in if I want to give her these striking hatchets. Those you don't have 2+1 striking throwing weapons. You just have the bandolier now, which might be a fun item to give out. Okay. Still going with these. Treasure. We have to convert all of that later. Excuse me. Chief Lorph. I've also given him a +1 striking great club. I'm thinking what I'm going to do here is you have to fight Chief Lorph. Okay? And boy, what a fun name to say, Chief Lorph. Love going from a hard P to a soft TH. Lorph. You have to fight him. You pretty much have to kill him. And I think I made notes that I don't like his AC being 25 at the bottom of this, and I might revisit that. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say maybe change to just simple +1 hatchets. Maybe. I'm going to maybe even throwers, bandolier. I should be looking that up before I start typing this out. But I'm going to say Chief Lorph. +1 striking, great club. The players should be level 4 here. So I'm okay with going a little bit over our where treasure by level. They should have 5th level items. I'm okay with going a little bit over. And I'm definitely okay with going a little bit under and just tossing in more. But the big thing here, I haven't mentioned this on the stream yet, is the next adventure right before it. The players have like a few weeks, upwards to a few months to prep for. And they should be crafting, they should be earning income, they should be spending their money. So if you're going through, and depending on your GM, this is a tricky adventure because it's very GM dependent. If I'm a cruel man. If my players went through and looted everything and took all the magic items from their employer Lavinia, I would have her at the end be like, "Thank you for saving my life. By the way, did you take the staff that I offered to my god?" Which also, another thing to quickly note, it has 1 charge remaining in 3.5. And after that, in 3.5, that staff is done. I do believe. I don't think there was a recharge. Could you recharge staffs? Recharge staff 3.5. No. Really? Okay, I think you could. I don't recall. I don't remember now. I do not recall. Let's see. Furthermore, let's see. Recharge. I don't think you could. Which means it's a giant... No, that can't be... Yeah, it's a giant wand. Let me just charge. I probably should have chosen a better word. Well, while I'm doing that, the thing is, I don't think that the players were meant to, like... Okay, here we go. Staff of Power, well, yeah. After all charges are used up. Yeah. So it's a giant wand. And once used, that's it. So, Staff of Passage. I'm curious. With 1 charge on it, I don't think you could really even do much. You could use Dimension Door or Pass Wall. Once. That's it. This could kind of just be replaced by a consumable. Because that's sort of its actual function. Instead of saying, there's a staff in 3.5, so there should be a staff in 2nd edition. Really have to think about what its role and purpose there was. It's more like, here was a single-use escape measure in 3.5, so it should be a single-use escape measure consumable in second edition, which is a bit more accurate to say. So as fun as it would be to give out a 6th level thing, let's get this out. However, should likely be a consumable. Yeah, like, Dimension Door is what? 3rd? Is Dimension Door 3rd level? We could probably get away with that. Of movement. Escape. Let me see here. Woo. Out of curiosity. Boop doop doo. Dimension Door. I'm feeling like it's 4th now. Dimension Shot. That's not. Whoa. Yeah, 4th level. Okay. Yeah, I'm already like, now I'm immediately over the staff idea now. I ruined it. Ruined it for myself just by thinking about how charges work. Let's go to consumables. What would a 4th level scroll be? 7th level item. I mean, I'm okay with giving this out. I'm okay with giving that out. I think I like that, actually. So, Scroll of Dimension Door. So, here's another thing why I like consumables, especially higher level consumables, is it's a very good investment. If we use the Scroll of Dimension Door, we can get the jump on an enemy, we can escape from something bad, or we could sell it for 35 gold later if we don't use it, which I kind of like. I think I might go with that. Because the thing is, what is it? 4th level. Oh, sorry, 7th level. I don't feel as bad going above the consumable, like, mark, so to speak. Because players are either going to hold on to that shit forever and never use it. Yes, I'm calling all of you out, because I do it too. Poison just mentioned to me that he's like, Azzur, you've been holding on to that owlbear claw for a long time, and you just crit somebody. And I was like, yeah. But what if I want to use it later? I'm like, damn it. You either hold on to it forever, or you just go and sell it. And selling consumables is not, like, game-breaking economy-wise. So, yeah, I'm okay with that. That's probably where I'm going to go. I'm likely going to change this. Oh, that's what I wanted to look up. A Thrower's Bandolier. This should be low level. Look at that. Look at that. That is awesome. Here's why it's awesome. This happens at level 4. It's low enough level that a player could go, hey, this is an interesting playstyle that I might like to enjoy. And it solves my problem of handing out way too much gold. Wow, boy, I like this. This is great. And it is essentially a build definer. It would come on a little bit later than I would like. Like, I'd love to give this out to a lower level player, but I think that's really good. So we're gonna change that to Thrower's Leer. Okay. Whoops. I could have just erased. All right. And it's not a 4th level item, though. What am I doing? Copy and paste. I gotta, like, wake up. This is a 3rd level item. Yeah. Yeah. I'm liking where this is kind of going. Because, here's the thing. I no longer feel bad about players getting a Scroll of Dimension Door and using it. And Also, a GM that says, hey, you can't really take that from Lavinia. She asked for it back if they don't use it. Cool. I like that. I also feel a lot better about Huntress Lorb Tub having a singular item instead of a bunch of crappy magic items. A singular fine magic item to loot. Nice. Look at that. Solving problems all over the place. I might not have to do the thing that I was thinking of doing, which is handing the players a whole shit ton of gold at the end of this and saying, you have some downtime, spend the money, and like poking and prodding them to go spend their gold. Because raise your hand if you remember the last time you did a shopping session with your GM. Wow. It doesn't happen that often. All right, page 42. We've got some treasure on page 42. 41. Every few months, yeah. Let's see. Tomb, I was like, what games is Tomb in? Oh, that's right, all of them. In real life, yeah. When I did, I think Age of Ashes was the closest I got to traditional, like, gameplay, and even then, my players would just sort of not, because they had their singular like weapon and then their armor, and they're just like, I'm going to keep upgrading it if I didn't buy, or I'm going to keep upgrading it, but the expectation is I will kill someone and not have to buy things later. Like, you buy things to get ahead of the curve slightly, and if it's not a big concern for you, you just don't, and you just hold on to that money like a crazy person. And then my players are like, I have tons of money. You could use rituals. You could spend some money on that. Oh, wow, we're not going to do rituals. All right, fair enough. Okay. Inside. Well, that's refreshing for me to hear. My players don't. My players are a bunch of jerks sitting there holding on to their money. Except, as I said, my Kingmaker group immediately got money and just spent all of it at level 2 on +1 striking weapons. And then broke the game in half for a good few levels. Ouch, ouch, ouch. I just pulled my leg. Yeah, Vanthus just has garbagey stuff. Here's another weird one. Here's Leah May's gear. +1 striking, shocking, thundering bow. What? Wow. You've got to be in book 4 by now? That sounds like it. Book 3. Oh, man. I feel like with that gear you should be just fine for book 3. I had so much fun. I'm trying to think what... I really enjoyed book 3. And it could be because it came after book 2, which I did not enjoy. But I thought it was a lot of fun. Book 4 is really what I wanted to play, and then my group fell apart. Mostly because people moving away and life, but... Oh, really? How powerful... I guess my players were doing like dragon form and stuff by the end of book 3. In which case, if you just sent secret messages with the kites, did you then have the encounter that everyone online complains about? Because I know my group had a lot of complaints about it. I don't want to give it away if you have not. Yep, good. I like to hear that. My group did not rock it. They were like, Galugian, Gelligan, Ice Devil, hit it with fire. Oh, God, it's immune to fire. See, you and Sola make a good team. I would love to play in a real-life game with you guys. So, clearly, just come to Japan. Easy solution. We'll get some sushi and play. I feel like it's been a while since I had a I haven't played in a game in a long time in real life, mostly because one, I like GMing and I genuinely volunteer for it, and when I do find a GM, they're not into it as much, I guess is the right word. Uh, oh, I was going to say this. 3.5 did this. 3.5 does this, and so does Pathfinder. This is just a thing that's done. Here's all of Leah May's treasure, and should she survive, she will take it back. But also, what's to stop a player from taking it? Ergo, you don't see it too much in Pathfinder 2nd Edition because there's problems. There's problems with this. Players are like, actually, I want that treasure, and if I got it, it would wildly unbalance the treasure chart. I think I might do what many APs do, and it's just like, this is Leah May's gear. And then not elaborate on what the gear is. She's going to take this back. What is in her gear? I don't know, some stuff, man. Just don't take it. Back when I was playing 3rd edition in high school, I remember I had the very typical players that would fireball blacksmiths places and murder friendly NPCs for items that they had. And at that time, obviously, I did not have as much system mastery or design mastery, but also it also sort of didn't matter. Like in 3.5, if I kept items from players, it didn't matter. They were going to just be a broken mess anyway. All right. As I said to a player once, he was a rogue cleric, rogue cleric sorcerer. Because I stupidly said, I'm lifting multi-classing restrictions. That was a very dumb move on my part. And I had him stripped naked and locked in a cell. And I was like, let's see you get out of this one. You can't use your hands, so no somatic components. You can't do this. And then he broke out because he could. And I remember he killed a guy, sharpened his femur into a knife, and went on a sneak attacking rampage until he got until he was able to use his hands to cast spells again. And I remember thinking, that's it. There's nothing I can do to stop them. So it didn't really matter what items they had. It just kind of made the game faster for me. Yep, Staff of the Archmage. Fuck it. It's fine. I don't care. You killed Manzorian, which for those of you who are really into the Greyhawk stuff would know that's Tensor of Tensor's floating disc fame. You've killed Manzorian and you've doomed the world. Oh, but it's fine because you have magic time powers to undo everything. The rules were so ridiculous. Anyway, complaining about dumb things. I want to fix this with a patch. Just an easy, this is Leah May's gear. Ring of Protection, not in there. We're not going to put it in there. Potion, fine. Wand of Mage Armor, fine. Keep that just as it is. Wand of Shock and Grasp. All of that is actually fine to keep in. I think all of that is okay. 2 level 1 wands. Let's see here. Let's look at wands. So if the players did go a little crazy at their first level, if they're like, we're going to murder this character for 2 level 1 wands of Mage Armor and Shock and Grasp. Shock and Grasp, terrible to put on a wand in 2nd edition. Mage Armor, fantastic! Absolutely. If you are a spellcaster and you have some money, get a wand of Mage Armor. It's not bad. Tap yourself with it once a day, done and done. I think it's cheaper than getting runes, but I could be wrong. I could very well be wrong. Also, I don't think I've mentioned this. I am going to have to redo so much, or at least go back once the remaster hits and redo a lot of these things. So I'm looking forward to that. All right, I will take a small breather here for something fun. Let me pull this up. I've been talking about treasure, and what I'm going to do. Sorry, this is a Japanese application. It takes forever. Here we go. Okay. I'll put this over here so I can see it nicely. All right. Baby time. I'm going to show a little video of my baby. I just got sent this, so you guys get to see it along with me for the first time. Here we go. Ta-da! All right. So Japanese application takes a little longer to load up this stuff, but I was just sent this video from my wife. Hey, my little baby boy. Aww. He's just hanging out. Ah, look how cute he is. Okay, there we go. I just wanted to get that out of the way. Not out of the way, that sounds bad. I felt like it would be doing a disservice if I didn't, boom, throw up at least a little picture or a video of my son. He is amazing. He's also looking around more than my other son did. My other son didn't open his eyes for a week. I just thought he was never going to open his eyes. Yeah, he's a cute little guy. So excited. Jesse. His name's Jesse. Okay. I've walked myself into a problem with Dravoraz here as well. I'm okay with giving Bulgorg a +1 spear. Yeah. It is a weird way to pronounce Tomb, but hey, look, it's written the exact same way, but it also just uses, Japanese katakana, so it's fine. I don't think I have to change anything here. Oh, you know what I never did? I never made stat blocks for Lavinia, Tolan, or Zan. I guess we could kind of do that right now. I'm not sure I really want to, because they're not relevant. So we've got Lavinia. These folks are tied up, wounded. They don't come into play. Let's see here. I want to see. 4 hostages are tied to chairs. Only Lavinia is conscious. Tolan and Zan are both stable but unconscious. Do we need to make stat blocks for them? No. No, we really don't. Really frustrating. I kind of just want to cut this. Look, here we go. If the players free and heal either of the Jade Ravens, they quickly join the fight as well, grabbing their weapons from the pile near the bed if possible. So yes, technically, I should convert them. What I had said was I wanted to give each of these guys sort of like one special ability to define them. I want to change one of these. Leah May's got one that I was like, actually, this is way too... Oh, no, I did write it correctly. I wanted it to be a once per day effect. Got it. Cool. They didn't want players to eventually abuse that with her. Which I guess is still kind of abusable. Alright. Looking here. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. Alright with this. We've got +1 spear on Bulgorg. And we've got another... I don't like the 4th level items being that you get just more striking weapons. It's not that fun. I might just turn this into get a bunch of money, because you do get a bunch of money at the end. Where is it? Where is it? Here we go. The players have... Using the money she's gained from various guilds, she grants each player a reward of 100 platinum pieces, so 1,000 gold. Increases their monthly stipend. Very frustrating. The stipend. I've complained so much about it, I might complain about it more. What's the stipend from the other? What was the stipend originally that we converted? There is no honor. Oh. Let me see here. Oh, here we go. So it went from 100 gold pieces to 5 gold pieces, so we're going to probably make that 10 gold pieces a month. Fine. I'm going to just quickly note it here. Stipend from 5 GP a month Stiped to 10 GP a month. Oh my goodness. Okay. I have made it, by the way, a stat block for the Sea Werven. I'm looking at some of this other cleanup stuff that I gotta do. This is pretty much done. Oh, you know what I should do? The experience, which I just talked about. A few things we are going to do. Go back, make height illumination doors format that comes before dungeons and modern adventures. I do want to do that. Doors be swollen shut, requiring actions to open. Illuminations dim, etc., etc. We want to make some C charts that come up in part 2, which is to say, you need these, just a price on them, really. And I want to make a treasure appendix, maybe. Typos, items, I think we got this actually covered. Typos, Brissa, actually fix that. Typos. And, yeah, a lot of things. Oh, I need to remake Savage Fever. I actually took notes for this and then lost the notes. Good. And I want to make a preface for the experience and some back matter for the monsters. I make my job so much more difficult because I want things to be easy for anybody that does get their hands on this. Despite the fact that nobody's going to get their hand. Nobody's going to be like, thank God, somebody's finally converted the first 2 adventures of Savage Tide. All right. What did I say I wanted to do? I can't believe my brain already turned off. Experience. Yay! So, what we did do, we have a good outline for our permanent items, and those are the big ones. Consumables, I will scatter. We've got some potions that they can get. Yeah, in V15. We're going to put this Scroll of Dimension door in at the V18, replacing the staff. And we might convert the rest just into straight up gold because I really want to incentivize the players to spend their gold before the 3rd adventure. Because the 3rd adventure is they get on a ship and then they leave for a several month-long journey over to the Isle of Dread. Huzzah! All right. So, what I am going to do, experience. Let's go through for experience, starting at, here we go. Part 3, the Wormfall Festival. We want to get up to 1,000 experience and go a little bit over it, because like I said, players are not going to get every single bit of experience as they go through. We've got a low 4. I'm going to just jot down every type of encounter we have and then do some math. A low 4. Really what we want to do. Did I not put this probably, oh well, we're probably going to want to put an experience award on this because the goal, this is a fight that breaks out with a gnome shouting and yelling at them. Yeah, and if they can de-escalate the fight, they should just kind of get a low reward for it anyway, so we're going to keep that. I'm not going to make any more notes. I just will do it later. Trivial 4. Okay, so why this is trivial? It's a simple encounter, or it's a simple hazard, so it ends up being trivial. Hazard 5. However, I noted here the experience award is it's experience for a level 5 complex hazard. And me look it up real fast. XP hazard. Oh, shoot. Hazard experience. Here we go. Yeah. So that's going to be 60. 60 experience for bypassing that. There. That's where it should be. However, if the cart crashes, the players manage to stop it from give them experience that they overcome a level 3 complex hazard, which brings us to 30, half. Cool. Good job, me. I was taking some good notes for there. So we've got a 60 experience. Well, we'll keep going. Here's some more treasure to give out. That's going to be our consumables we want to give. All right, diamond. Oh, yes. Did I not? I didn't note... Oh, wow, I didn't. I didn't note how to change this. Okay, so... How's the weather up there? Not how's the weather up there. It's the attack from... yeah, Kalani's Killer, EL6, is not accurate anymore. Yeah, why did I not... Alright, what page is this? Page 31? Page 31, okay. Alright. Ta-da. Change. Kalani's Killers, EL6. EL6. Now, let's take a look at what our level here is going to be. First, no, come on now. Diamondback is level 4, and our Stiltwalkers are level 2. So we've got 2 -2s and 1 on level. Let's look at the building encounters. You guys are this is the most boring day for conversion, and I'm sorry that it's the day where I'm distracted with having my baby. All right, so level -2. These guys are worth 20 experience each, 80 XP. Altogether, there's 4 of them. And 1 on level, another 40 experience. Hey, we got 120 experience. That gives us a severe budget. Or it gives us a severe encounter. Yes. And I would cleaning up all that, of course. 2 severe 4. 4. Okay. I note that so I can write down we've got a severe 4. One of those. There. So I can do the math for all the experience quite easily later. All right. This I want to end up putting in the back of the book. Back of the book. The end of the document. So that just we referenced all of the monsters in one area. All right, we've got a low. Boom. We've got another low. Boom. See, this is easy. If I did this correctly, I won't have to work too hard. Moderate 4. We got a 1. We've got one of them there. Okay, Cascus Keel. We've got another low. There's going to be a lot of lows for the reason that, let's say, if these were filled with moderate or, moderate encounters to severe, the players would spend a lot more time resting up, which we don't want. We want to keep this quick. We want them to go room to room, fighting their way through the bullywugs. So that's why I made a lot of low encounters. But that said, we do jump to a severe here with Chief Lorpth. But he is one of our goals. We have 2 main goals. 1, rescue Lavinia, and 2, rescue the Jade Ravens, of which Leah May here in the basement is one of them. Master bedroom, moderate or severe. I'm going to err on the side of that being moderate because we want experience to go over. Oh boy. Oh boy. So I'm seeing that this is already likely not going to be enough experience. Which is why I hadn't rolled the Wormfall Festival into the Kraken's Cove when it came to experience. Okay, so let's see how much experience that is. If we've got a low, I could be kind of breaking this down a little bit better, but I'm not going to. 240 severe. There's another 240. That's reassuring. And a 160 here. We got 500, 740. Tossing in the hazard, we've got about 800 experience. Oh no! Oh no! Okay, so we need to find or create another 200 experience. I'm trying to think Rescuing Lavinia. Here, I'm gonna write down. Actually, again, I'm doing that thing. Quick XP treasure notes. Adventure 2. Okay. Quests. 200 rats to come at them one at a time. Yes, that's the solution. At the very end, it's just like, Lavinia has a rat problem. I don't know if you knew that. You should have come by for no, you should. I don't recommend anybody. You should come by for these streams. I had somebody come for the last stream, Zombie Creeper, and it reminded me that many people play Pathfinder very differently from how I do. And he had a GM, or they had a GM that threw 20 leshies at them as an encounter, and like wrapping my head around it, like I don't even see how that would be entertaining for anybody. Like if there's 200 and the party can handle it, it's just a slog and the leshies can't fight at all. Like they aren't hitting. Or if you're the players, and it's too difficult, well, that's overkill. It's like, oh god, 20 leshies. Anyway, quests. I'm going to say, if you have not seen Quest Experience, I did pull it up quite briefly here. Yeah, we've got XP awards for hazards, XP awards for accomplishments. So I'm not sure. Like I was going to go with 100 here, but let's go through some quests. 1, rescuing the Jade Ravens. Importantly, jeez, what am I have this open. Rescuing Jade Ravens. Okay, first off, we've got 2 that we are going to be rescuing in this adventure. Technically all 4, but that's another thing. Cascus Keel, the Dwarven Druid. And I'm going to say, hey, quickie 30 experience there. And then Leah May, Teslacaria. Oh, I can't believe I don't remember that name. Teslacaria. I'm definitely not spelling that right. I'm not going back to fix it. And let's say another 30 experience. So there's 60 experience right there. So we need about 200 more, and we want to go over that a little bit. We've also got rescuing Lavinia. That should be the big one. 80 XP. So we've got, 140 experience there. Now it gets tricky. Now it gets tricky. Because I can't think of many other... Alright, well... I believe that I said I'm accounting for the last encounter here to be a moderate one. So what we could do is, if you've managed to... I was going to say, if you managed to convince Dravoraz that you're on his side. We've already given experience out for this in the first one by talking to his superior. So it's sort of like double-dipping experience, and that feels lame. Hate experience. This is why I do milestone leveling. Little grammar fix there. Let's see. Is there anything I'm really missing? I'm sure I'm going to. It's so tricky. That's not great. See, yeah, the 200 rats are looking more appealing. Yes. The thing is, I don't want to add more superfluous encounters. But at the same time, I hate the idea of just adding superfluous experience just because. It could be, like, speaking of superfluous. Return to Sasserine. You know, there's what 60 experience, what 50, 30. Oh my god. There's like 30 experience. We got 170. This is the stuff that I hate. Like, if getting to 200, I think we can do. Going over feels just ridiculous. Oh, you know, I'm going to say, charting a path through Sasserine. There's one. I mean, we can even like bump these up if we're really just feeling like, hey, the heck with it. And rescuing Lavinia is now a full 100 experience. Not 1,000. That's a full level. So what? 120, 220, 250, 280. Yeah. Yep. I mean, that kind of works. And this is why it's always just a little tricky to smush these things in. I could make the encounters harder. You know, I could add a few more enemies into these and thus give out more experience. But like I said, I kind of want the players to burn through these bullywugs. Yeah. Yeah, that's sort of where I'm looking. All right. I got my own little notes over here. Okay. I've got about 30 minutes before I have to kind of get ready to leave, and I might head off a little earlier because I gotta sneak a bunch of snacks to my wife, which would mean this is not my longest stream, but I do kind of just want to get back into things. Yeah, so there we go. My fan's leaving, but I will say I get my son from nursery school today, and then he's going off with Grandma and Grandpa for the weekend. So my goal is then I can get play-by-posts updated with my weekend. I will be working on the weekend, so and I work from 11 o'clock to 6 o'clock on the weekends. Terrible time. But hopefully I will at least be able to sit around in my underwear and like update games and update the conversion. So, you know, I can put all this stuff in nice, clean language. You see I've got stuff to do here too, like edit on tactics, changing the dumb little treasures that players should, again, not be stealing. Do I have two of the? Okay, no. More and more treasure, blah, 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 blah. And fix all these typos. And then I will throw this out into the void for people on Reddit to complain about. Actually, everyone on Reddit's been very cool, so. All right. I think I'm going to end there so I can get some lunch before I go meet my wife so I don't spend the whole time that I'm with her just eating food instead of being with her. Great. Glad to be back in the swing of things. Hopefully that swing will stay swinging. And I will see everybody later, and I hope everyone has a very nice time. Bye.